Good day to all the Brahma Star Flight friends out there. I'm Nikita and this is Siliska, my partner, and today we're going to visit the residence of Kobus and Ernst here in Bloemfontein, South Africa to discuss the forthcoming attractions for Brahma Star Flight's YouTube programs.
The question at hand today is gods versus aliens. Who is a god and who is an alien? Most people around the world don't even know the difference between a real god and a real alien.
So my personal guess is that the mainstream people don't even know they don't believe in aliens, and to them, an alien is just a very thin grey being that they don't believe can be a light side god.
In a few minutes, we will know the difference between a real god and a real alien.
So we have now arrived at the residence of Ernst and Kobus at Roostalava, situated in Bloemfontein, South Africa. We are going to use the opportunity to take you through the spiritual garden where most of the magic happens, and you will have the opportunity to be part of it. Here we are always in the company of the true light side deity, including all the gnomes, fairies, salamanders, gods, goddesses, Hefkanams, super Hefkanams, and most importantly, the Most High Toratere Yahweh Goria, praise his name. This is the home of millions of beings of the true light side deity, seen and unseen. Our spiritual garden, a gallery full of God's creations and miracles, gathered from the chessboard of Mother Nature. Color equals sound equals vibration. This is what everything visible and invisible throughout the universe in all dimensions is all about. Vibrations that provide harmony, balance and healing to any form of life, provided if the vibration is used in the right proportion. A healing that is tangibly experienced in this spiritual garden, which is sung by people and angels and is supplemented and enjoyed by natural elements such as fairies, Belasa, Yahweh. So this is the meditation corner. I wonder what happens here.
Pontele Toratere Yahweh Goria.
you. I'm so glad to have you here. Let's be
How are you?
Are you also excited?
Oh, so
I
excited.
cannot wait.
Can't wait.
I cannot wait.
Did you have a ceremony here recently?
Oh yes, the Garden Temple is the best place to practice Hora Moleke, which is a very high dimensional healing process. But the rain is coming. Let's go inside and
Alright.
I'll answer you in full on that
Awesome.
one. Let's
Can't
go.
wait. Let's do this.
Nikita, to come back to your question, later on in this series, when I discuss or lecture on earthboundness and demonic possession, where human beings get possessed, then I'm going to tell you how easy it is, by means of a paratosa, to take demons or earthbound spirits out of a person that's been possessed. But as I said, this is for another time. I think it's the next lecture that we are going to compile. So yes, are you excited?
I'm so excited, and that also is the purple circle that we saw outside.
Yes, yes.
That's
And
part of the
all
paratosa.
this paratosas, how to get rid of earthbound spirits or whatever, we are practicing it in there. And if you want, I will later on show you how I do it, but
They'll have to
let's
watch.
wait,
Keep on watching.
let's wait.
Keep on watching.
Yeah, we are seated, so are you ready?
As ready as always.
Marvelous. Hello friends, and welcome to the first short lecture on gods and aliens. Who is God? Who is an alien? And please help us to help others. Nikita, you must also
Yes.
do this. Please help us to help others by pressing the like, share and subscribe buttons.
Where's the bell? Where's the bell? Where's
Yes,
the bell?
yes,
bell?
yes. Where is it? Just to remind
Ring the
our
bell
friends
to get the
outside there.
notifications.
And yeah, now ring the bell icon so that other people can share this ancient wisdom secrets that we are going to reveal here in this study. And believe me, you are going to be fond of it.
Oh.
Right, Nikita, do you believe in aliens?
Yes, I do believe in aliens. Do you believe in aliens, Aaron?
Oh yes, Nikita, and for a very good reason too. I'm not the kind that will believe in anything that's been presented to me, and I will begin to explain to you why I believe in
Yes.
aliens. But modern Western Christian people refer to belief in what they want to believe in. And anything that makes them as a mass feel safe to believe in, they will believe in it. Doesn't matter how mindless it sounds.
Exactly.
They will go as long as they are with the pack or
Yes,
the
the
mass
majority.
person. The authority, then they are okay, you know,
Yeah.
for themselves. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And why do I believe in aliens? Let's look at the following key to help understand
Yes.
what an alien really is. Nikita, the modern dictionary declares an alien being as supposedly from another world or extraterrestrial, and not from our planet Earth. Does it make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
If all the people out there can just listen once more to this definition, they will understand the rest of the contents. I'm going to give it to you again. The modern dictionary declares an alien being, doesn't matter what kind of an alien being, as supposedly from another planet or another dimension, so-called extraterrestrial. Does it make sense to you?
It does make very, very much sense. It's also like you say in your books, or like you state also, you must also read with insight.
100%
And
correct,
listen.
Nikita, 100% correct.
Yes,
With a definition in mind of what an alien is, I am going to explain Brahma's Tower of Lights ancient wisdom secret. And that is going to be very interesting. I think a lot of you people out there already know the answer. But for the mass out there who doesn't know the answer, I'm going to explain it in full. If you want to understand what we are talking about, it is necessary that you understand the following two realities. So please listen very carefully. Reality number one: if you study the endlessness of our universe with all the billions of star systems in our universe, planet Earth, as part of our star system, was definitely not created first. This is if we compare the ages of other stars as suns with our own sun. Millions of so-called suns have died over long periods of time, long before our own star as a sun was built and activated. This means there must be gods in place who came from another universe and or solar systems to create our sun as a star system. If you, as our Baramas Tower of Light friends out there, love truth as we love truth, make sure that when you buy or use a Bible concordance, the Bible concordance that you use are this specific one that you can see on the camera now. The reason is as follows. The specific concordance is the product of the 17th century King James Bible that was read into a computer, so that each and every word in the 17th century King James Bible can be explained in the contents it was used. Now, for the Afrikaans-speaking people in South Africa and elsewhere, the Afrikaans 1933 and 54 translations of the Bible is a translation directly from the 17th century King James Bible and is by far the best translation to study from. You can imagine how many times the Bible has been translated and changed to what different church denominations can read in those, or what they want to read in those translations. Take note, they want to read in a Bible in where they can read what they want to read. Doesn't matter how accurate or non-accurate it is. The specific concordance has a specific ISB number. See the following. Other Bible concordances compiled on the contents of the most recent Bible translations will explain the words in those Bibles and not the original truth. This is why Christians all over the globe don't know the meaning of the word God in their Bibles. Look at the following proof. But before I get to there, make sure you read the ISBN number on the second or third page of your concordance. I'm just going to repeat it. It's ISBN 0-917-006-01-1. Right, friends, if you focus on the word God, this is now in the Bible concordance, you will see that there's for every verse in the Bible where the title God was used, a description of what the writer meant by using that specific word. There you can see God, and then goddess, Godhead, gods, Godwoods, God families. It goes on endless. But in Genesis 1 verse 1, for instance, God, there's a G, created the heavens and the earth. And there you can see a specific number, 430. You can go to the back of the concordance to see what was originally written in Genesis 1 verse 1. Nikita and Miliska, if you look with me, There you can see the number 430 and how it looks in Hebrew. And next to it you can read how to pronounce that Hebrew, like Elohim, Elohim, plural of gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used in the plural, unless there was a specific God that written a verse or something that was referred to in a verse or so. But generally, you can go and have a look what is going on in this Bible concordance. This means that your Bible should read, in the beginning, the gods, plural, recreated the heavens and the earth. In Hebrew, Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, the gods recreated or created the earth. It should actually mean recreated if you take in consideration the 26,000 yearly recreation of the whole globe, to which I will come later on. Now, not one God or a Trinity God, as the churches try to learn us. They didn't, not one God or a Trinity God created the heavens and the earth. The Roman Catholic Church, but different gods, goddesses, demigods and demigoddesses, God families, godlikes and many more, endlessly, they created the heavens and the earth. Not what the Roman Catholic Church are telling us, that there is only one God. There you have the proof. Now let's go further. I understand the reason for all this confusion when I investigated the subjects a theologian studies to become a priest or a pastor. I don't want to upset you by giving you the answer, therefore I advise you to convince yourself on the internet what subjects do theologians study in order to become a dominee or a pastor or whatever. I'm not going to give it to you. You can go and satisfy your own needs of curiosity. I will if I were you. A further fact is that the Christian church replaced a lot of real gods and goddesses names with this title, God or Lord or Lords or Gods, whatever, which is wrong. For every verse in the Bible where the title God is used, the Catholic people or the Catholic Church who translated our Bibles replaced the real names of those gods and goddesses with the title God.
So, Ernst, if people don't know what you have just explained, is it obvious that true Light Side Deity Kingdom followers will follow the masses who follow the Christian churches?
Oh, Nikita, they trust their priests and pastors to lead the way to the true Light Side Deity knowledge, especially after death. What will happen to them after death? But although the priests and pastors and preachers that the lead of the Roman Catholic Church orders them to preach, and that you can also go and look exactly there is a very big church hierarchy from the head of all Christian churches on earth, namely the Pope and our priests and pastors who receive the orders or whatever, what to preach and what not to preach, what parts of the Bible to skip and where to focus on and not. Now, when I compiled my thesis in Bible and deity research, I found hundreds of places in the Bible where God says this, and in a next chapter the same so-called God says the opposite. I cannot understand that Christians never, or maybe they did see it, but it didn't worry them at all. Let me give you an example, Nikita. In one place in the Christian Bible, we read that God says, "Thou shalt not kill." Where do you read that, Nikita? Exodus 20. Or Exodus, how do you pronounce it? But remember that there are 100 examples. And where does he give the opposite? In Exodus 32 verse 27. The same God gave orders that the Israelites of those time should kill their brothers, their near of kin, their families, their sons. Now, how can a God says in Exodus 20, thou shalt not kill? And here, the same God, if it was the same God, orders you to kill your brother. That doesn't make sense. But let's not go into that. I just want to say, what kind of a God is this? If you take into consideration that there's more than 6,000 different churches,
Yes.
and
think
all over the
more
world,
now.
and each and every one believe what they want to believe it, read from a Bible which suits them due to the contents of that specific Bible, etc., etc. So remember that there are hundreds of, you can actually get hold of my second book in the Baramis writings, which you will find on the web page itself. Book number 2. What is its name?
Spiritual.
No. A Journey Through the Bible.
A Journey Through the Bible.
That's it.
Sorry.
But it will be a good thing if you can also have book number 1. And book number 1 is free to those who write to me and ask me for it. Remember that all books and courses are in e-book format. Read only from your own computer screen. The fact is that the oldest Bibles, Nikita, is the Codexus Vaticanus, Sinaiticus, Codexus Alexandrinus, and the Ephraimi. They contain a huge list of different God names, but was during translation replaced with the title God or Lord, as if all the gods who spoke through the Bible were one and the same God. Isn't this ridiculous?
It's really ridiculous.
No wonder the churches in South Africa are running dry, because people are going, they are busy. Today the Dominee or whatever preaches about this, and the next time it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
So in true reality there are different super creator hefkenams, and now you must listen very good, friends out there. In true reality, there are different super creator hefkenams. If you see the hierarchy of the gods, you will find the angels on the lower rank, starting from dimension or heaven 9. Then it goes up until 100. All those gods have the title of gods. But from dimension 101 until 200, we talk about hefkenams. They are much more high in rank than ordinary gods, like the god of silver or the god of gold or the god of plants or the god of even the Lonakusa, which is a hefkenam giving consciousness to our planet Earth.
Yes.
I mean, so the so-called God who created it all was in fact super high developed spiritual hefkenams, plural, which means all the original creator gods, is plural and endless, who came from distant dimensions and planets to create our planetary system, and planets are by definition of what is an alien. They are aliens. Each and every hefkenam, super hefkenam came to Earth, all the gods that came here to create our star system, and especially planet Earth, was in fact, by the definition of what an alien is, an alien.
So, Ernst, why is it so difficult for the mass Christians to accept that the true creator hefkenams were aliens?
Yeah, Nikita, do you know what an ordinary grey looks like? A grey alien.
Yeah.
Long,
as they refer-
they're
yeah.
actually not so long, but very thin, grey, very thin arms and
Yes.
legs, with big, looks like big
Yeah, like the most
glasses
people,
that they
Yes,
put
no,
on, or
yeah, see them.
which is actually, do you
Think
know
they
what
look like
what it is? They look like that, but do you know what that? It's actually an outfit that you see. Those
Yes.
grey skin like with the big
Just
eyes. I
cover.
mean, a lot of people
It's,
know
it's
what
also,
the
it's
rest
almost
not
like
knows.
don't judge the book by its cover.
Yeah,
So
over
there's actually a lot
decades,
to-
people were bombarded with news and programs covering this kind of alien or aliens, the greys. Now, if I didn't know the truth and somebody says that God is an alien pointing to a grey, I would not pray to that God. That is beyond me. That is not a God.
Yeah.
That is a dark side entity, a
Yes.
robotic humanoid. It's not a human being.
Yes.
What to say a God? But people doesn't know this, and this is what makes me so happy to share this ancient wisdom secrets with him. And I think, or let me ask you a question, do you think it sounds on the ear quite logic if you take all this that I said into consideration?
It's actually very logic, as Ernst. If everything that you mentioned, it's so logical. They just need to listen.
For sure, Nikita and all our friends out there, we should never, ever forget that just as the Most High, or the highest of all so-called light side kingdom gods, until you get endless dimension, let's say to dimension 500, where you will find the cerebrum and all those angelical beings, actually from heaven or dimension 360 onwards, up, endless. You know, his name, the Most High, on top of this whole hierarchy, he's got a name. You don't call him God. It's a title. Now, if you pray to God, how many gods are you referring to? If you say to me, have you ever met God? I'm going to ask you, what's his name? If you say to me, the Trinity God or Jesus, I'm going to say to you, a Trinity God was created by the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes.
Not created, but combined to be.
Yes.
They accommodated it in the Bible, for one part. And the other thing is, my God, the Most High, doesn't only have a name. You can read, you listeners out there, all
Yes.
our friends of Baraham's Tower of Light, please, if you've got a Bible that you can trust, a 17th century Bible, go to Psalm 91. You will read, among other places, in Psalm 91 of the Most High. Now, in biblical and deity research, I got hold of his name, which is Yahweh. Praise his name. And you know what? If you take Satan, for instance, his real name is Satana. He's got a surname, R-O-S-S, Satana Rost.
Yes.
What is the surname of the Most High?
Toratore Yahweh Goria.
Goria is his surname. What is his rank? Is he a god? Or let's start, is he an angel or a Messiah like Jesus Christ? Or Jeshua Radopa, which is actually his correct names, which you cannot. I mean, even Jesus said we are not allowed to make a god of him or pray to him. We must pray to his Father, which is
Yes.
the Most High. Now, if you take all this into consideration, and you know that your God is the Most High, his rank is Torata Re. Now, the Re is also very important to take notice of, especially in the forthcoming programs.
Yes.
Because why? A lot of people speaks about Amun Ra. You can use it, but it's actually Amun Re. The Re families are just under the Most High.
Yes.
Because if you take Amun Ra or Amen Re, as you should pronounce it, he didn't create our sun. alone. He created all the suns in all the heavens from dimension 0 up to dimension endless, and downwards also there's heavens 0 minus 1, 0 minus 2,
Yes.
endless.
And sub-dimensions.
So how can people just say, thank you, God, if Satan is
Yeah,
also a
to
God? Satan is a fallen
yes.
God. But yeah, there in Genesis 1 verse 1, Genesis 1 verse 26, you must listen very careful. And God said. Now this is what is in the King James Bible. And God, plural, said, which should read, and the Elohim said, or the gods said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, etc., etc. They forgot to fraud that verse also, because you can read there, and God said, let us
Yes.
make people or humanities. Luckily for the Christians or for the church, didn't change this verse. This was where we started to do the research. Now that is why there are different color humanities on earth. Think about the red ones, which is spiritually by far ahead of all the others. Then you get the yellow nations. I know people don't like what I'm saying now, but I like the truth.
Yes, we like
And
the truth.
the yellow people are spiritually much further advanced as us. Then you get the white Western Adamic humanity race. What was, but was, or they died, they starved out over centuries and centuries, was all the other colors.
Yeah.
You know, like the purple people of Brahmsa's creation, but let's not go in there
Yeah,
now. That
for
can wait
another
for
day.
another day. I'm sure you know about the reptilian races, the Draco races, and the Anunnaki. Have you ever heard of them? Yes, of course. We should keep in mind that all reptilian races, Dracos and the Anunnaki, are not always dark side representative. You know, if I listen to people, they will say if the word Anunnaki is said, all the ears and the hair are standing up. You know, they are now frightened because this is now the devil,
Yeah.
Satan, whatever. It's not true, people. There's millions of planets where this Hefkanams and gods and whatever came from. And as I said, all of them has got a light side. It's like people. We've got the dark siders among us, the grey siders that doesn't believe in gods or anything. They are kind of in the grey zone. And then you get the dark siders. So don't always assume that if somebody speaks about Dracos or reptilian races, we know like Lakzela is a dark side Hefkanam, and we know in what family on earth he is situated. They are all over the time in the newspapers or whatever. Not all of them are reptilians, but I think you know what I mean. Now Satan or Satana is the name of who you may know as Satan. Now Satan or Satana is not your biggest enemy.
Yes.
And a few people know it. Satana was degraded, listen carefully, from dimension 22, planet Pentora. And don't go look for that name. This is the name the Most High and the Creator Hefkanams gave to that planet. Our people have not even see 0.00001% of our three-dimensional planets and universes, star systems, whatever. So what do you expect them to see further?
Yes.
You know, they cannot, to give them names.
And
They
also
cannot even see in those dimensions.
Yeah.
And I mean, we practice to go there and to see that.
And also, if I may
Yes,
ask you
please.
also, is what's interesting is that people consider Satan to be this terrible looking
Yeah.
figure, and
I'm
actually
so
he was the
glad.
most beautiful angel. So yeah,
I'm
that's
so
another
glad
thing.
you mentioned it, because you are so correct in what
Yes.
you are saying. And all the people will give you a description of a red
Horrible
or black,
thing.
or yeah, bufama, you know, that goat with the horns
Yeah.
and the breasts and the hooves and whatever. This is the devil. If you don't give your tenth to the church, he will come and fetch you. You know, that kind of
Yeah.
rubbish. No, my
Oh,
friends, the Bible declares that Satan was the most beautiful of all the Hefkenams and gods that were created at that stage. So his seed lines, which is now some of him and some of his sons, are binded on earth. This also the Bible says it to us in other scriptures also. So if he's on earth, you can imagine that and don't think about the old age people like me, especially those in the reptilian seed lines, but the younger ones are the most beautiful people on earth. And they do good to other people. They help other people to believe in what those people want to believe, as long as they believe in rubbish.
Yes.
Or whatever. So yes, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Now, yeah, let's go on. Satana was degraded, and he was bound on earth, and he will still be bound here for a long,
Yes.
long time. You know what? He is still the God of sin. And what is sin? The transgression of the Ten Commandments. Rubbish! It does not mean... Those Ten Commandments are the most... I don't know even what to call it. Doesn't make sense. You know, but let's skip that for
Yes.
another explanation. But what I want to... he was the God of sin. Or he is still the God. Remember? Dimension 22, he's a God. He's not... If he was over dimension or situated on a planet like, let's say, in dimension 109 or so, then he would have had the title of Hefkenam. He's a fallen god. He comes from dimension 22, planet Pentora. If you accept and believe that there is only one God, it is to ignore true deity, knowledge, and live in a self-created fool's paradise.
Yes.
Do you agree, or do you have another way of describing this whole thing?
And the other thing also is that this planet was given to him to do what he
Yes,
So that's
yes.
why everything's going like
Yes,
it's
you
going,
know,
and everything's
Nikita, I
just...
think we must really
putting wood
advise
on the
our
fire.
friends out there. Yeah, they pray to a Messiah.
Yeah.
They don't even pray to a
Yeah.
true God. The church declared Jesus as a God. But out of Jesus' own mouth.
Yes, in
he
the
said,
Bible.
don't even kneel before me, because only he who is good, good is my Father,
Yes.
the Most High.
Yes.
So why are they declaring him as
And
a
he
God?
says
With
that-
all due respect. Now, friends out there, in the next program, Program B, I'm going to tell you about sharing your human body with other consciousness giving life forms like demonic entities or earth-bound entities. And then I will explain to you what is an earthbound entity, because I know that a lot of people have their own description of what an earthbound
Yes.
is. They think it is people who should go to hell, you know, so it's
Yes.
not what they think. So people out there, don't miss out on the next thing.
Oh,
A possessed person can share his or her human body with demons of different ranks and powers. So, yes, let's be looking forward. I cannot wait until the
Ooh,
next
it's
program.
going to be awesome.
You know, if I start
Right.
talking, I cannot shut my mouth at all. But don't miss out it, and remember to press the like and subscribe buttons as well as the little bell icon. I love it. To be in line for more incredible spiritual and dietary knowledge that we refer to as ancient wisdom secrets, because a few people know about the secrets, and it's my pleasure to share it with you out there. So Nikita and Eliska, thanks for joining me, and let's looking forward for the next
it's
one.
It's going to be awesome, and thank you for the time, also for helping everybody out there.
Oh no, and
seeing
friends,
the truth.
It's that's only a pleasure, but please advise your friends to listen to these programs. It can only help the light side to know better.
Yes.
And not following. There's one still thing that I would like to mention. In the Bible it says, when God, meaning the Most High, come to earth to collect his people, the few that he will collect from the billions will be so little that a small child would be able to count them. So if you're on the mainstream followers, then it should be a warning.
Good
you're
luck.
on the wrong side. But let's continue. We'll inform you. We are going to try to do a video every week, second week or so. So until then, friends out there, love and light.
Thanks, Ernst.